ఉంటాం, ఎవరితో ఒకరితో ఉంటారు. ఓకే రైట్.
So in this case, for request fails, it's a resolver fails.
You have to fix it. Doesn't continue with others. You have to fix it. Okay, was done. Understood this? Next, I have a requirement like this. So did you understand request by request was done? Three, four, five, six. Okay. Okay. I am doing full bus. If I do full, what will happen? There are 6 requests which says data. So does your full really consider data mart status bus? It doesn't really care whether data mart status is there or not. It does pick in everything. So I'm just doing a full. So I'm doing with full. So when I say full, what I mean? It actually extract all the data of the 6 requests and loads it. Right? All the 6 requests are coming in. Yeah. But when I do this with full, does it really update the data mart status? It says request load, but doesn't maintain that this is loaded to this Q1 state information layer. Yeah. Now let's say like this, from past 1 month you've been doing full every day. Now someone observed it. Why you are doing full bus? Why you repeating data? Then why don't you now start converting it to delta under this? So what I'll do? I'll go to extraction tab. Set what? Delta and activate. Now if I run this delta now, if I just set this delta now and say run, will it pick the data of those 6 requests again to the queue or not? I know you didn't want it, but will it go or not? That's what I mean. ఎందుకునో ఎట్లనో see delta ante endi, if I trigger my delta, it has to go to my data source, process all the requests for which there is no data mart status maintained. For all the 6 there is no data mart status, right? It is showing green there, but see it is showing green loaded, but does it have information to which queue it is loaded? It just maintains it's loaded, but doesn't know to which queue. Nothing is maintained here. That will maintain only when you do delta bus. Until there is no data mart status exactly meant for my queue at all. So if I trigger my delta again, it's going to extract all the historical data again. Because I told you first delta is like what? Init. Init is like what? Full upload. You already done full. If I do init again, am I not going to have a duplicate records in the queue? Chupista. Some problem, don't worry. It has to bring 120, okay? It is not reflecting what. Okay, lovers. And in fact, it has to take those records. Okay. Now, what I want is historical data is already loaded. From today, I would like to convert it to delta, assuming that no historical data should be brought in, but from tomorrow, normal delta should run bus. So, in that case, I will use this checkbox. Look at this. I will say run delta. So when I am converting this case, I will say delta, perform the delta init without data. So first delta is initialize me so that from tomorrow I can run delta, but when I am running init today, don't bring any historical because I already brought those through what? Full. That's the checkbox we use here. It is not reflecting the changes. It will not bring any data, but if I go in here, it will be updated state. Now, for example, if I go with another request in the data source, you are not seeing it, but it is updated. Now, let's say I go with another data source, 295, another request. Now, if I do delta, normal delta now, first time I will just do this, but next time onwards I will not be doing it. It will be like normal delta only. Right? So, it should assume as if the old requests are already processed within it, it has to bring only 295 requests. What is bringing? 290. Atla init కొడుతునో historical data రాకూడదు కానీ ఓన్లీ ఇన్స్టలేషన్ జరగాలన్నప్పుడు we use a checkbox. Don't bring historical data, perform init. That's, I think, let me clear this. Okay, done. Now let's see this. So now you're okay with this properties with delta, and you understand the filter. I'm not shown an example, but you should know. I think it's same like info pack selections. Yeah. Now drop down, I can say full. You can still select, but the point with filter is, I told you first delta is like init, right? When you're doing first delta, if you give any filter selections, the subsequent deltas also will run with the same selections only, otherwise it will not work out. No, first delta run చేసినప్పుడు ఏదైనా ఫిల్టర్ నువ్వు ఇయర్ ఈక్వల్ టు కరెంట్ ఇయర్ అన్నావు అనుకో, నెక్స్ట్ డెల్టా కూడా అదే సెలెక్షన్స్ వర్క్ అవుతుంది, లేదు వర్క్ కాదు. విత్ వాట్ ఎవర్ డేటా సెలెక్షన్స్ యువర్ ఫస్ట్ డెల్టా రన్స్ ఇన్, the subsequent delta loads will run with the same selections. It doesn't allow you to change the selections at all. Full you can keep changing however you want. Okay.
So delta will limit, how will it be reflected in target?
Delta?
Without data, init data, init delta without data.
Then whatever you do, it will only set the data mode status saying loaded, but it will not bring any data.
No, but how will it be reflected in, request will be generated or not in target?
In the cube generates a request, but there will be no data, 0 records. That is like init without data transfer. Okay, boss? Then there's the button called semantic groups. Now, what is the importance of this? Now, look at this. Just try to understand, but I'll try to explain it more detail when you go on to transformations. But look at this. What is this? Active. What is this? Active. Okay. I'm not asking about this one. What is this? You know this, right? What is this? Transformations. So with the help of transformation, we are mapping the source object and target object. Okay? Now try to understand this. When you run DTP, it extracts from source and loads into target. Right? Actually, what it does is, if I could see some monitor of any of the requests, what is doing? It will basically perform 4 steps. Whenever I run DTP, it always performs 4 steps. Extract from the source object, do the error handling, then process the records through transformations, then update the data into target. Now DTP కొడితే actually local 4 steps చేస్తున్నారు. ఒకటేంది, it actually does 4 steps. One is extracting data from data source, and then it does do the error handling. Yeah, then process the data through transformations. Yeah, then update the data into queue. అట్లా 4 steps చేస్తుంది. ఓకేనా? And it does perform these 4 steps for every packet it does process. It will actually be processing data in form of packets. So if I got 1 lakh records, if it's a packet size 50,000, it will process 2 packets. And for each packet, it has to perform these 4 steps. Packet 1, extract first 50,000 records, then error handling, then transformations, then updating. Again, packet 2, extraction, error handling, transformations, and updating it to queue. Atla 4 steps it has to do. Now next is, if I expand packet 1, what does it say? Extraction, error handling, what is this here? Transformations, then updating it. Atla 4 steps చేస్తుంది for each packet. Okay. Now suppose if I load 5 packets, how many times my transformations are executed? 5 times. First time my transformation logic is getting executed for records of packet 1. Next time the transformation logic is executed for records of packet 2. Next time transformation logic is executed for records of packet 3. Fourth time 4th packet, 5th time 5th packet. అట్లా ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్లో ఉన్న లాజిక్ ఎన్ని ప్యాకెట్ ఉంటే అన్నిసార్లు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. ఈ పాయింట్ క్లియర్ ఎవ్రీవన్? ఓకే, గుడ్. చూడు అందుకే ఈ ప్యాకెట్ 1లో ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్స్ ఉంది, ప్యాకెట్ 2 కూడా ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్. అంటే ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ ఎన్నిసార్లు అయినట్టు ఇప్పుడు? 2 సార్లు, ఎందుకంటే 2 ప్యాకెట్లు ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి. ఓకేనండి, సరే. ఇప్పుడు నా పాయింట్ ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ డెప్త్ ఏమంటే, సరే DTP రన్ చేసినప్పుడు ఎన్ని ప్యాకెట్ ఉంటే ప్రతి ప్యాకెట్కి గాను ఎక్స్ట్రాక్షన్, ఎర్రర్ హ్యాండ్లింగ్, ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్, తర్వాత క్యూబ్లో అప్డేట్ చేస్తాడు. ఇది నాకు తెలుసు. ఇప్పుడు 5 ప్యాకెట్లు అయితే 5 సార్లు ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్స్, 5 సార్లు అప్డేటింగ్ జరగాల్సింది కదా. సో వాట్ ఈస్ సీక్వెన్స్? ఇట్ డస్ ప్రాసెస్ ప్యాకెట్, ఎక్స్ట్రాక్షన్, ఎర్రర్ హ్యాండ్లింగ్, ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్, అప్డేటింగ్. ఇప్పుడు నేనేమంటానంటే, నా విత్ ఇన్ ద ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇట్ డస్ హ్యావ్ సమ్ సీక్వెన్స్. ఇట్ డస్ గట్ సమ్ సబ్ స్టెప్స్ విత్ ఇన్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్స్. చూడు, ఫస్ట్ స్టార్ట్ రొటీన్, ఫస్ట్ ఇట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ విత్ ఇన్ ద ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్స్, ఫస్ట్ ఇట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ స్టార్ట్ రొటీన్, then individual rules mappings, then what? End routine. Each packet it does perform extraction, error handling, transformation and updating. Now within transformation it actually performs 3 steps. One is start routine, individual rules mapping and end routine. And sequence is first start routine, then individual field mappings, then end routine within the transformation. I can show you that. యాక్చువల్గా దీనికి ఎండ్ రొటీన్ లేదు, కానీ ఐ కెన్ సీ ఇఫ్ ఎక్స్పాండ్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ ఐ హ్యాడ్ ఓన్లీ వాట్ ఇస్ స్టార్ట్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ స్టార్ట్, వాట్ ఇస్ దిస్ స్టార్ట్ రొటీన్ రూల్స్, బట్ యూ డోంట్ సీ ఎనీ ఎండ్ రొటీన్ బికాస్ ఐ డి నాట్ ఇంప్లిమెంటెడ్. హ్యాడ్ ఇఫ్ ఇంప్లిమెంటెడ్ ఎండ్ రొటీన్ యూ వుడ్ సీ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ స్టార్ట్ రొటీన్ రూల్స్, ఎండ్ రొటీన్, ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ ఎండ్ అని వస్తుంది. Means for each packet it has to execute transformations, fine. Now within the transformations it does execute start routine first, individual rules in the second, next is end routine. That's the concept. Sequence. Till there it is clear? Okay. It's okay, boss. Fine. Now what I am saying is, now concentrate, boss. Concentrate, okay. Now what I'm so start routine, field level routines, and then end routines. Now whatever the logic, now consider it, whatever the logic we write in start routine is executed once for all the packet, once for all the records of a packet. ఇప్పుడు నాకు ప్యాకెట్లో 50,000 రికార్డ్స్ అనుకో, ఆ 50,000 రికార్డ్స్ గాను స్టార్ట్ రొటీన్ ఒకసారి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. The start routine gets executed only once per packet. Suppose if my packet contains 50,000 records, for all these 50,000 records it executes start routine once, that's it. Okay, boss? Now when it comes to field level mappings or field level rule maps, it does execute record by record, boss. So how many, let's say there is a direct mapping like this, how many times will that execute the direct mapping? 50,000 times, because for each record of packet it executes once. Okay, boss? On the records what is left out, again end routine also execute for all the records of packet only once. If I will first packet I have got 50,000 records, extraction, error handling, transformation, updating. Now within transformation, for all 50,000 records, first started only once. Then rules 50,000 times for each record. Then end routine again for all 50,000 records, once end routine. I know you don't know how to write start routine, but that is not important. Anyone can write, okay? But logic is important. It's important about a person who decides where to write, what to write. There are a lot of people who can write, okay? That is nothing. Logic flow. Now imagine now, let's say I have a request in data source with 20 records in it, okay? And I have controlled my packet size to be 10 records. How many packets will it load? Two packets. So how many times will my transformations get executed? 2 times. Okay, boss? Okay, boss? And how many times my start routine is executed, boss? 2. How many times my individual rules are executed? In packet 1 10 times, in packet 2 10 times. So total 20 times. How many times my end routine get executes? Only 2. Once per packet. This is flow అర్థమైపోయింది కదా. ఇప్పుడు నాకేమంటున్నానంటే చూడండి. I have 20 records, right? If I say 10 records, what it is to do? It just takes first 10 records into one packet, second 10 records into one packet. Okay? Now what I am done is, in the start routine, I have just written some logic like this. In the start routine, I have just written some logic. What I want to do is, I wanted to find out the net sales of a top customer. I'll have basically in the data I've got 2 columns, customer number I've got net sales. I want to find out the top customer. For some logic in the routine, I wanted to find top customer. Okay, so I've given you 20 records. Out of these 20 records, you'll have to find out what? Top customer. Okay, good. Let's say now you run the DTP, your packet size is 10. What will happen? First 10 records will go into packet 1, next second 10 records will go to packet 2. Good. The 10 records will go through transformations. For the 10 records, does it go to start routine? Then what does it start routine? For all these 10 records, start routine will get executed. Now out of these 10 records, it gives you a top customer. Out of these 10 records, it only does use these 10 records and gives you top customer. Okay? Again while processing next packet, again it takes next set of 10 records and then uses the next set of 10 records, gives you top customer from the next set. Is it correct or wrong? Correct or wrong? Get correct or wrong? Get wrong. Huh? Because I wanted saying top customer. Imagine I have a customer C1. In the first 10 records, I have some transactions of C1. In the next set of 10 records, I have some transactions of C1. Total revenue of C1 was 1,10,000. But when I just consider only first 10 records, I see its revenue as only 5,000 bus. Remaining 1,15,000 transaction value I see in next 10 records. But he is actually the topmost customer for me. But when I look at only first 10 records, he is not been the top. But when I consider all the records, he is the top. So what is the correct? Who is the correct top customer? C1. Yes or no? Logically correct is C1. But if you just use only first 10 records and splitting partition, then you getting what I'm? You understand what is the problem, right? So what is my requirement now is say you say packet size is 10 numbers. Let's say you pick up first 10 records. Okay. After I pick up first 10 records, let's say I look at customer column. So I got only C1, C2. Only 10 records. First 5 records were a C1. Next 5 I could see a C2. Now what I want is, if there are any records left out in the subsequent packets of same customer C1, C2, also must be extracted in the same packet bus. In that case, my importance is not on the size. Importance is grouping of that customer, grouping of all the data of customer C1 into same packet is my preference. I really don't care whether my packet size is 10 or 15 or 20 bus. That is not my preference. Customer C1 సంబంధించిన records అన్ని ఒకే packet లో రావాలి. All the records of C1 must be into same packet. Let's say you picked up first 10 bus. In the first 10 you could see some records of C1 and C2. Even if there are some subsequent records of same customer C1, C2 should be grouped into same packet. I should not be really caring about whether packet size is going beyond 10 or not. Right? You getting what I'm saying? In that case, I want my customer value to be looked up and grouped. Grouping should be done. That is what we do with that is what done with help of what? Semantic groups. If I say customer key now, all the records of same customer would be in same packet. That's why when you set the semantic key as customer or something, it does not really maintain the packet size. It will be zigzag. There may be some packet goes with 20 million. You will see some packet going with only 5,000. You will see some packet going with 40 million also. Do you understand? This is very, very important. Actually, this normally in the interviews they consider this as complex question generally. I had been to some interview. They asked me the same. I explained them. Then he actually called everyone who was doing in the interview panel. Then he asked me to explain to everyone. He said, "They don't know. Please explain them." Not joke, serious. You did understand this? Because he never asked me what is semantic groups. He just asked me a question like, when I use semantic groups, can you control the packet size or not? I said, how can you control? Then he got the answer. He knows what is semantic group, so he got the answer. So when you set semantic group, it does basically group the records based on the values. It doesn't really care about the size of the packet. So you cannot really control the packet size when you go with what? Semantic groups. But when do you go for semantic group? When you have certain logic should be executed of all the records into same packet together. Clear on this? That is semantic groups.
What is data has to be in PSA?
When you run DTP test pick from data PS. So did you understand the semantic? Now I don't need, but.
And then the number of caches you choose becomes a composite key.
Okay, boss. Next. This is packet size. Optimal packet size. I can give. Say I want. This is where you can control what should be my packet size. If I say 1,000, default it is 50,000 records per packet. If I just leave it like this, system will take care of it. But if I want to optimize the size, I can just say I want is 50,000 records per packet. Sometimes you make it 1 lakh also. Depends on the throughput of your system. Okay. Then there's something called what? Parallel extraction. What will this improve speed up your DTP? Because whenever you run DTP, it has done 4 steps, right? Extraction, error handling, transformation, updating. So extraction process can be made parallel. It will speed up the process. Parallel extraction. Clear on this, boss? Okay. Now we have one more option. If I set that to full, you get to see one option here. Look at this. Each checkbox would important. See. Say now imagine this. Let's say data source is blank, cube is blank. Okay. I run the info pies once. You get one request to data source. then I run DTP with full. So that request 1 data will go into my queue. Again the info, again I run my info packet, request 2 comes into data source, again I run my DT with full. How many requests will it take into queue? R1, R2 both will go, because full always takes full. But I am running full, but I want to pick only latest request only. Then I can use this checkbox. Only retrieve last request. Only latest request will be picked up. Generally when you are doing full, I don't want to duplicate it every time to pick in, so I can use this checkbox in fact. Yes or no? Yeah. Then there is one more checkbox. Do not generally what happens? We use info package to extract from data source system and load it to data source. From loading from data source to target, use DDP, right? If your extraction mode is full and the data what you're loading is really less, okay, I can use DTP itself to extract from source and load it to target. They call this concept as lean data flow. Lean, L-E-A-N. When I say lean, you're eliminating PSA. Look at this. I'll say do not extract from PSA. Access data source directly. If I select this, it starts getting all the file details into it. Is it not flat file details? Now when Act1 run in, what happens? It starts picking from flat file, not from the PSA. But generally this is used only when the volume of data is less. But in the new source system BA 7.4, SAP is focusing on this lean data flow where they want to eliminate this data source concept. But staging of the PSA, they want to remove it. So did you understand this bus? Ante. Activate, just trigger it, triggers from file.